This is Garrett here with another installment of Riff Class. For this week's installment, I'm going to work on Pictures of Home by Deep Purple. And the reason I chose this is, besides the fact that it's an awesome tune featuring one of my favorite guitar players, Ritchie Blackmore, is that it illustrates a cool harmonic concept, which I'll explain. Let's take a look at the riff right now. So let's talk about how to play this thing. We'll start out on the 5th fret of the low E string. We don't rest on that note. We slide from that A right into the B note. Alright, so that's exactly it. Slide 5th fret of the A, 7th fret of the A. And we repeat the same exact fingering. So we've got a kind of a compound phrase. We've got a phrase that's broken into blocks. Alright? 2 blocks of 3 notes. The next part of it is, okay, that's the 7th fret of the G, the 9th fret of the D, the 7th fret of the D. I'd recommend for this one, in the context of the riff, play that G, the D note on the G string with an upstroke. The next part of the riff after that is how cool is that? So bending up from the 9th fret, make sure you get that pitch right. Bring it down, shake it a little bit. 7th of the G string, the B note on the 9th fret of the D, 7th fret of the G string again. And then you have the option here to use your pinky or your 3rd finger. Bend that note up, get it to pitch, shake it, and return to pitch every time. I don't want to hear any of this. It's not going to sound good. It's going to sound out of control, sloppy, amateurish. It's not going to sound like Ritchie Blackmore. I'm going to channel some Ritchie here. So that's the first half of it. Now you might want to just practice just this. And you might want to experiment with where the fulcrum is for the bending. So I'm using this little underside part of my knuckle on the back of the neck to, and I'm twisting my wrist here to get that sound. I'm not trying to muscle it with my fingers because that's just too unwieldy. I'm pulling, you can kind of use your finger a little bit. Pushing up like this, the way I'm doing, I'm pushing it to get that note bent. The other alternative is to jump that 3rd finger. So I jump and those little rakes are really nice to get in there too. So they add some percussive sound and it's good. So now the next part of this, he plays the first part of it again. So the licks are broken up into larger building blocks and smaller pieces and parts of several notes that kind of symmetrically fit together in a very nice fashion. So the answer to that larger building block is starts out exactly the same, and then we've got so we bend up 3 times on this with some unison bending. So we're bending the 10th fret of the B, from that A note all the way up to the B, and then hitting the 7th fret of the E string, 2, 3, and then we go right down. When we go down that B blues scale, that B minor blues scale, we go bend it to the B, 7th fret. Don't play. Okay, so now all together we have 2, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now it comes for the harmony. So the harmony, well, we could essentially double the guitar until the very last lick. That's right, this one. You could look at that as 2 licks. You could look at this as one part. Either way, we're going to double that whole part all the way up a 5th to that F sharp on the 14th fret of the E string. We're going to bend the 17th fret. So I would suggest no matter which way you slide it, if you slide on the first finger down here, do the same thing. Get that nice unison sound. This is going to work great for your recordings. It's going to sound awesome if you play it live with another guitar player. So grab a buddy and see if you can get this in sync, get it in time, get some foot stomp going, maybe put a drum track on, play along with the record, see if you can get it up to speed, and get it in sync with your buddy so that way you guys are synced up and you can listen to him while you play it. Instead of just listening to how you sound, you can kind of listen to him and make sure that it's all synced up well. If he's tapping his foot, and vice versa, he can check you out, and that way you guys can benefit. So this would go like this. It's exactly the same thing we did down here. Now it comes for the harmony lesson. The harmony in this is B minor. We're in the key of B minor here. And in any minor key, there are 3 minor pentatonics that can potentially be used within that key. The first is the tonic, the second is the 4th, and then the 3rd is going to be the 5th. So for us, that's E minor, and F sharp minor. Of those, the E minor is going to a lot of times be problematic because of that. Sorry, the G note. Play a B minor chord. It's kind of a tense note. You don't want to rest on it. It's not going to really sound good in a lot of situations. Maybe as a passing tone. You can hit that. Or if you're going to go to something like a G major or an E minor or a C major chord within that key that's kind of getting a little out of the key, but hit that while you're playing the B minor going into the next chord. The next chord happens to be and that'll sound good. But most of the time, not really. So most of the time, the B minor one will sound good. It's going to sound good, especially if you stick to notes like the D and the F sharp. Why not the B? Well, because the B is the root, so that's kind of already there. It doesn't really add a whole lot of extra feel, or it's just not that exciting. It's just the root, so it's kind of not that interesting. The bass is playing it, the rhythm guitar is playing it. If you're playing it in the lead, it's just not all that. It's better, more taste would be like. Definitely cooler sound. Third and the fifth. Okay. So that brings us to the fifth of the keys, F sharp minor. So we play that. All those notes sound awesome because now we get the ninth. You get that C sharp in there. Oh, that's it. So that's a really good sound to have that ninth in there. The only difference between the F sharp minor pentatonic, which is of the fifth, and the B minor pentatonic is that the note D in the B minor pentatonic is gone in F sharp minor pentatonic, and instead we have a C sharp note. So we can in fact play both. And that'll give us all the notes of B minor pentatonic and F sharp minor pentatonic. Because remember, we're only adding one extra note in F sharp minor pentatonic, and that's that C note. So now why does it work when we play the blues scale? Now in this one, we've got this F in the B minor pentatonic, which doesn't really belong in the key. What's the blues scale? You can always use the blues scale. So that F is going to work as a nice passing tone. And as far as the playing that C note, that's also a passing tone. And on top of that, we're harmonizing in direct parallel harmony in perfect fifths with this lick down here. So when this lick down here is playing this, alright, I think I've illustrated that sufficiently enough that we can play passing tones, we can play the blues scale, and we can harmonize it in a perfect fifth. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Try to work on this riff. Don't get too caught up in the theory about it. Just work on it. Work on getting that connection from your ear to your hands. Work on listening to the other player when you practice it together. Very important. If you practice it with a drummer, watch what the drummer's doing. If you practice it with a bass drummer, listen to where he's hitting at. He should be hitting on, definitely getting some downbeats, you know, especially 2 and 4. I'm tapping my phone. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Definitely tap or stomp your foot. You can go 1, 2, 3, 4, or you can go 1, 2, 3, 4. Work on all of those things. If you like this video and you'd like to see more like it, please click the subscribe button. Also, please click the thumbs up button because that does actually help me a little bit. Upload a video of yourself playing this and with the hashtag riffclass, and I will retweet you on Twitter. Thanks for watching.